Well, it's happened. Today, the United States has officially entered into a recession, and so I thought it would be helpful to talk about the three apps that are most helpful to keeping your financial health in order during a recession. Welcome to my channel where I talk about travel and how to afford travel. And if you stick around all the way to the end, I'm going to throw in a bonus fourth, which isn't an app. Unfortunately, they only have a website, but is a super cool service that I haven't seen many people talking about, and I'll go through a little bit that I think will be very helpful for you. The first app is Mint. Mint is an automated budgeting app that allows you to tie in all of your income streams, all of your credit cards, your bank accounts, your investments into the app. It will pull in all of the information, and then as you spend money on your credit cards or on your debit cards, it will automatically record those transactions and categorize them based off of what it assumes that you are spending money on, and deduct that from the appropriate category within your budget. Budgeting, obviously, in a recession becomes super important. It's something that nobody likes to do because it requires us to sort of sit down and think through what we're not going to spend money on. But I like to think about budgeting as a process of prioritization, that it is us thinking about what are our priorities and figuring out how we can achieve those priorities. So for me, the priority is travel. When I travel, I obviously can't bring that many clothes with me, so clothes is not a huge priority in my budget. For other people, the priority could be different, but setting these priorities allows you to achieve your goals. And so sitting down, even and especially in a recession, and setting out what your priorities are and then figuring out how to fund them is a very inspiring, important, and will bring a significant amount of financial health. Unfortunately, most people don't stick to budgets, and the number one reason why people don't stick to budgets is because it's a lot of work. Not only to create the budget originally, but then on a daily basis to go through and deduct each expenditure out of the appropriate category. It's just time consuming, and most people are not going to do it, even myself, which is why Mint is such a great solution. What Mint allows you to do is, as you spend your money normally, it automatically puts it in. And so, once every couple of days you go into the app and you can sort of go through and make sure that it has automatically categorized your expenditures correctly. But it doesn't take a lot of time. You don't have to input a lot of data. Once you've sort of added all of your accounts to Mint, it automates a lot of the process, and it makes it a lot more likely that you will stick to the budget and that you'll create a budget in the first place. So my number one app for a recession has to be Mint. Number two app for a recession is SoFi. SoFi offers a couple of things that are critically important for these times. Number one, they offer a bank account through SoFi Money that has no minimums and no fees and is very easy to use. Anyone can open an account, and when every dollar counts, making sure that you eliminate as many fees as possible is critically important. The number two thing that SoFi allows you to do is to invest in SoFi Bits. SoFi Bits are fractional stocks and ETFs. So instead of having to spend hundreds of dollars to buy a single share of Apple or Amazon, you're able to invest in as little as $1 into these shares and buy smaller parts. As the recession has hit, the stock market has created an opportunity, but also a lot of people don't have tons of money to go out and buy hundreds of dollars for a single share of Alphabet or Tesla. So allowing to buy fractional shares where you can buy as little as $1 into these companies is hugely important for investment strategies moving forward. So SoFi allows you to purchase and get started investing with just a small amount of money, but still building that up so that as the market grows and rebounds, you will have been able to buy in at this very advantageous time without making a huge investment when people are having a little bit of a capital crunch and don't have as much money to freely spend. My number 3 app for the recession is actually a series of 5 potentially apps, but it's Netspend. Netspend is a prepaid credit card company started in 1999 that serviced over 10 million people. Obviously, prepaid credit cards are a terrible deal. They come with huge amounts of fees, and as we just mentioned in SoFi, fees are exactly what we want to avoid right now. The benefit of Netspend, it allows you to save up to $1,000 at 5%, and there's 5 different accounts that you can apply for. So first is Netspend, second is a Western Union account, third is Ace Elite, fourth is Hebe, a grocery store chain that has a co-branded card, and fifth is Brinks. If you apply for all 5 of these cards, you can save up to $5,000 at that 5% interest rate, which is just an amazing deal and definitely a good way to start safely building towards an emergency fund. During a recession and unstable times, having an emergency fund is critically important. But holding on to money seems like a waste because it's just not doing much for you. So being able to find a 5% savings account is really key to being able to successfully save and prepare for any contingencies. As promised, my 4th item, which is not an app but just a website, is GroundFloor. GroundFloor is a website that allows you to invest a small amount of money into residential loans for essentially people who are fixing up to flip houses. It's an investment that you can start for as low as $10. And right now what we're seeing is that the housing market, despite the recession, is remaining quite strong. There's a hot market everywhere, and with interest rates so low, we can expect that the housing market will continue to boom. This is an excellent place where you can begin to invest. I've been investing with GroundFloor for a couple of years now, and although I don't put a ton of my money into it, I've seen some great results. Over 14% return on my investment, which is just amazing. With very little to get started, I would highly recommend during the recession to put a little bit of money into GroundFloor. Now, one of the downsides of GroundFloor investment is that the loans terms tend to be 12-month terms, so you're tying up your money for a full year. But if you can afford to wait for a year, getting the large returns that you're able to do with a small initial investment is definitely worth it. I hope that these 4 tactics, websites, and apps for preparing and weathering the recession has been helpful for you. If so, please comment below and subscribe to my channel. I plan on putting out a lot more great content for you. Thank you so much. Have a great day.